Hey, what the hell's going on, you guys? This is 2 by NegativeAE, and welcome back to Higurashi When They Cry. Last we left off, we were very close to solving everything because the final thing is here, I think? I'm assuming. I always assume that this is like the final thing, and then I end up recording for several million hours after I think it's going to end. So we'll see how long. It was long. It was very long. Are you okay? Is your spirit still alive? Do we have all the pieces we want lined up on the game board? Is this everything we have in our hands to go up against Akano and the others in the game of fate in the June of the 58th year of the Showa era? I think we have everything. And last but not least, Hanyu. It's you. The time you have left to be a piece is limited. But that doesn't mean you can't show up in the game. Shall we start? Put in hundreds of years for this. Now, I wonder if like the actual game is going to start, because that's what they said at the beginning, right? Is like put all the pieces together and then the actual game starts. So like, I wonder if there's like a whole other thing on top of what we just did. I don't know. He said to believe is like betting a coin of hope. In other words, it's risky to believe in something. You gain something if you win, but if you lose something. As with any gamble, we try to make sure we win and then we bet a coin. But as with any gamble, there's no guarantee we'll win. Sometimes you win and sometimes you lose. That's how you increase the number of coins of hope. But if you keep losing, you don't even want to bet anymore. And then you realize that if you don't bet, you don't have to lose everything or anything. Not to bet on anything is the same as to not believe in anything. Not to believe anything is the same as not getting involved in anything. To not get involved in anything is the same as to not exist. Therefore, she didn't exist. The one coin she has in her heart is the last one. If she loses it, she'll disappear. That's why she's hesitating to bet. She's been running, trying not to get involved in any type of match because she is afraid to bet it accidentally. But just like in a game of poker, she can lose her coin by quitting. She tries not to lose the last coin, but that means she's going to lose the last coin slowly. There's something she doesn't know. Actually, I didn't know that either. In our game, the winning average increases with the amount of coins wagered. In other words, the chance of losing increases depending on how frightened we are. It's just like carrying a portable shrine. It's impossible to carry such a heavy thing individually, but when people put their strength together, it gets lifted easily. There's a clear border between too heavy to lift and easily lifted. It's just like how the balance on the scale tips with just a little weight. A big and heavy portable shrine can't be lifted. Everyone is trying to lift it. I don't help because I know it can't be lifted. I don't participate in a game I know I won't win. I don't bet my coin. But that's wrong. Maybe the portable shrine can be lifted if I join. For the longest time, I've been pretending to be a bystander. I've always thought I was there just to find out if it was worth betting or not. But that's wrong. I'm not an onlooker, nor should I be a bystander. I should participate. The game I'm facing doesn't look like a game I can win. It doesn't look like a game that's worth betting on. But by betting on it, or by participating in it, or by believing in it, the outcome may change. To bet on something is the same as to believe in something. To believe in something is the same as to be involved in something. To be involved in something is the same as to exist. Therefore, she was there. Okay, everyone, homeroom is starting. No more chit-chatting. Class rep, go ahead. All rise. Bow. Good morning. Sit down. Rattle, rattle. This is a usual morning. The only difference is that it started a little later than usual. Chie-sensei normally arrives in the classroom right on time, but she is a little late today. A rumor about the reason for the late start of the homeroom was going around already in the classroom before Chie-sensei arrived. Chie-sensei gives a cue and a girl peeks in timidly. What the fuck? Why does she have horns? I feel like that would be an interesting thing, a topic to talk about. We have a new student, Furude Hanyu-san. She's going to join us starting today. I feel like the horns would be very interesting. But now she can't follow people. So I guess that, like, I guess her following people was, like, counterproductive. Because, like, I feel like it made them, like, suspicious. So now she can't say, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Furude? Is she related to Rika-chan? Yes, she is. She's my distant relative. Also... Oh yeah, oh my, I'm surprised too. I didn't know Rika had met relatives. Boy, Uncle Mion didn't know either. Isn't that weird? And isn't it weird that she has horns? Would be the first thing I would ask. I'd be like, wait a second, we're ignoring the horns. Three families are rather complicated. I wouldn't be surprised if I had distant relatives. But she sure is Rika-chan's relative. Oh, what a cutie. Oh, all the classmates get excited. Their new student is rather intimidated by it. Rika-chan is rather carefree, but this Hanyu seems like the complete opposite. She is the shy, small animal type. She's the exact type Rena loves. Look, Rena is about to swallow her whole. Okay, Hanyu-san, please introduce yourself. Everyone be quiet. Okay, Hanyu-san, please. Chie-sensei comes off the platform and encourages her to take over. The silence is pressuring her even more, and she just stands there timidly for a little bit. That's understandable. This is very nerve-wracking. I'm Furude Hanyu. I'm Rika's relative. She's my relative. Please be nice to her. Rika-chan knows she's too nervous to introduce herself. That's right. It's not fair to pressure her with silence. That's why I decided to make it more lively. You're called Furude just like Rika-chan, huh? Now we have two Furudes in this class. How about we call her Hanyu-san? If we call her Furude-san, Rika is going to react too, right? It's our rule to call each other by our first names. She is one of us starting today, so we should call her by our first name. Okay, it's decided. We'll call you Hanyu starting today. I'm Sonozaki Mion, the class representative. Call me Mion, okay? I'm Hojo Satoko. Very nice to meet you, Hanyu-san. I'm Tomita Daiki. My parents run a tofu shop. Please come by anytime. I'm Okumura Suguru. Please ask me if you don't know anything. Hello, let's be friends, okay? What grade are you in? People fall over each other to introduce themselves. Everyone wants her to remember his or her name so they can be friends. Such a friendly air fills the classroom. I've only just transferred recently myself, but this is exactly how it was on my first day too. I remember how I anticipated this, or appreciated this, because I was so nervous too. I know more than anyone how nerve-wracking it is to be a new student. I should look after her. That's right. We should look after her so that she will get used to the new class, or to the class. That's right, you were a new student last year, huh? Were you nervous on your first day too? Sure. But Michan and the others were so nice to me that I quickly got used to this class. Yep. To welcome a newcomer is one of the three families' important jobs. You mentioned the three families when it suits your purposes, but it's true that Mion and the others helped me get used to this new environment. Then, doesn't that mean that it's Kei-chan's turn to look after her? That's right. Rena was a new student, but she looked after me when I arrived. Then it's my turn to look after the next new student. The new student always changes the atmosphere of the class dramatically. Even my attitude has changed. We decided to gather around Hanyu during lunch break. Okay. Remember, you can only ask Hanyu one question, okay? Here we go. Let's ask her for her some personal questions so we'll get to know her very well. Let's see. Who will be the first one to ask? Okay, Akumura. What's your favorite food? I like sweets. My favorite is cream puffs. Oh, that's wonderful. I love cream puffs too. There's a very good sweet shop in Okinomiya. I'll take you there sometime. Okay, boys, did you hear all that? If you want Hanyu to like you, get her some cream puffs, okay? Not the cheap ones, though. Get her some expensive ones. Let's see, who's next? Nobody? Then I'll ask the color of her underwear. Everyone keeps asking Hanyu questions and she's starting to panic. I guess this is like a traditional ceremony for a new student. I remember exactly how my first day was. Mion and Satoko act amusedly, so it's the same for them too. Rena is watching things with deep emotion. Or watching this with deep emotion. I bet she's remembering her first day too. Are you remembering your first day too? Eh? Ah, yes. Were you thinking about something else? You aren't thinking about Hanyu. You're taking Hanyu home, are you? Oh, no way. I'm not thinking that Hanyu likes cream puffs or that I have some good cream puffs at home, so she should come over or anything like that. Oh, I want to take her home with me. If she doesn't come to school tomorrow, it's your fault, Rena. Oh, that's mean. As we watch Hanyu and our classmates have fun, Rena and I laugh together. Hey, Keiichi-kun. This is great, huh? Yeah, it is. It's great to have a new classmate. No, not that. I mean, I think we've seen her a few times before. Hanyu? Maybe you saw her when she and her... Maybe you saw her when she and her family came to look at the area before they moved. You have a good memory, Rena. No, it's not like that. Hanyu has been here for a long time. She's been right beside us all this time, watching us play. For a very long time. Huh? Is it just me? Didn't you notice Keiichi-kun? No, I haven't seen her before. So are you saying that you've met her before, Rena? From what I can see, this is the first time Mion and Satoko have met Hanyu. If she has been close to us, like Rena says, it's impossible that none of us would remember her. Are you sure? Besides, Hanyu is a transfer student. She couldn't have been here in this village that often. You think so? I swear I've seen her occasionally. It's your imagination. Even Hanyu just said she was living far away before she just moved here. But I have seen her. Rena seems to be trying to remember more. Probably one of those deja vu experiences. Although it's the first time you see something, it feels like you've seen it before. Just forget about it. She is here now, right? Yeah, you're right. Yeah. She's always been, or appeared to be eager to join us, so I'm glad that now she's one of us. Rena smiles with tears in her eyes. When I look, Rika-chan has the same expression too. I don't understand why those two have that expression, but as soon as Satoko comes over and pulls a prank, my question disappears. What the fuck? I like how Satoko's pranks are just to blow up the entire school. Aha, it was a prank. I just made several explosions and destroyed infrastructure. Goodbye. These are the words that make me feel good at school. As the class ends, the classmates run out of the classroom. Hanyu was popular all day. She's Rika-chan's age, so all the lower grade students gathered around her. Older students like me and Mion didn't have a chance to get close to her. Well, I'm sure they'd rather have a new student who's their age than a scary-looking older student. That's right, you looked scary at first, Keiichi-kun, but probably because you were nervous. Hey, come on. I was trying to be friendly so I could get used to the class. You were far from friendly. You slapped her on the forehead on your first day, Keiichi-san. Don't you remember? Because of how I was treated on my first day. There was a thumbtack on the back of my chair, and there was even a frog in my desk. We heard there was a new student in the teacher's office, so we went to peek. We saw you there, and you looked really nervous, so Satoko must have thought she had to do something so you wouldn't be so nervous. Oh ho ho ho. As an old-timer, I was being considerate, don't you see? Shit, that's impossible. Although the blackboard eraser trap sure helped loosen my tension. Or helped me lose my tension, but if I admit that Satoko will be elated, so I'll never admit it. Hanyu-chan must have gone home with everyone. Sure, she's popular even after school. But the first day is exhausting. I'm sure she'll sleep very well tonight. I'm sure. Okay, everyone. It's been a while since I had to work quite a bit lately. Club members. It's time for the club members to gather. I've been waiting. It's been a while, so I'm getting rusty. I've been bored because I haven't rubbed a loser's hands for so long. Or loser's head for so long. I won't lose. I won't tone down just because it's been a while. What's the game today, folks? You sure are full of frustration, huh? Great, just makes things more interesting. We're all motivated, huh? Watch out, I'm at my best today. Mion, you're going to wish you went to work today. Mion had to work quite a bit lately because her uncle's shop was short on staff. So we haven't had our club activity for a long time. For us members, our club activity is our main purpose to come to school. In a way, our time to be alive comes after school is out. If there's no club activity, there's no point in coming to school. So it's natural for us to be excited about this. I guess none of us will be satisfied with an inadequate game. What should we play? Mion looks into the club locker. I always wonder what is in the locker and how much of it there is. I swear there's more there than it can realistically hold. We hear the door open. Oh? Hanyu-chan? Hello. What are you doing? Did you forget something? Thought she had already gone home. Did she forget her lunchbox or something? It's not that big of a deal to forget a textbook, but you can't forget a lunchbox. Hanyu, what is it? Are you looking for something? She's looking at us apologetically. What is it? Are we in the way? She keeps looking at us timidly. Are we sitting in Hanyu's seat? No, we're not. What is it, Hanyu-chan? Can we help you? Can we? What the fuck? Rena talks to her, but there's no communication. It's almost like she's trying to have a conversation with a stray cat. What is this? Hanyu is staring at something. Follow her gaze and see Rika-chan. Hanyu is staring at Rika-chan apologetically. I won't say anything. If you want to, you need to say it yourself, Hanyu. I finally figured out. Hanyu wants to say something, but she doesn't know how to say it, so she wants Rika-chan to say it for her, but Rika-chan is telling her to say it herself, which means we need to listen to what Hanyu wants to say. We wait patiently for Hanyu to say something. But then I think about what happened this morning, and I realize this kind of silence makes her more nervous. Rena notices that and talks to her in a sweet tone of voice. What is it, Hanyu-chan? Can you tell me? I'll help you. What is it? Can you tell me one more time? What? Rena raises her voice. What? Tell Uncle Mion too. What is it? Are you sure? What is it? You just share it. She just wants to join the club, probably. I doubt it's like that serious. Yeah. It's not that serious. She says it loudly as if to shake off the embarrassment. Oh boy. Where did you hear about us? I want to join. I want to join the club. Very good. You did a great job. Clap, clap, clap. Rika-chan seems to have known that Hanyu wanted to join the club all along. Mion folds her arms with a smile and glares at Hanyu as if she's appraising her, and needless to say, Hanyu is intimidated. How brave of you to want to join us. But our club isn't just a regular club. Only a select few are allowed to join us, and that's only after they pass a gruesome trial. Just because you want to join doesn't mean you can join, you know? And Hanyu-chan, Mise-chan's club looks fun, but it's not that easy. I already know that. You must win, otherwise you don't know what will happen. Are you sure you're aware of that? I won't lose. Besides, Hanyu swallows once and says what's on her mind. It's a very big thing for her to say for her, and it sounds like it has a deep meaning. I used to hate to lose, so I always ran away from the game. But to run is worse than to lose. I could win only if I continue to fight, despite the pain of losing. I have learned that. Hanyu. When Mion realizes that, although she looks timid, Hanyu is actually courageous, she grins. I bet she likes her. Well, well, how brave she is. How about it, Mion? Why don't we let her try, huh? Let her take the entrance exam. The entrance exam? Usually it takes more than a few weeks to determine if one is even qualified to take the entrance exam, yet she wants to take it on her first day. What should I do? Mion pretends to be stubborn, but in reality she's simply playing with her. If she actually didn't want her to join, she would have refused right away. Of course, if Hanyu was bothered by this kind of intimidation, she wouldn't be able to survive in this club. Just like Rena and Satoko said, our club is tough. You have to win. Only first place is good enough. But if you come last, you will wish you were never born. Do my best. But the punishment is actually fun too. Hanyu-chan has been watching the whole time, huh? You've been wanting to join for the longest time, huh? I get the feeling that Rena is mumbling something like that. Mion, come on, let her try. I got in by going through that too, you know? That's true. Let's see what Hanyu-san has got. Hanyu-chan, have fun. I won't back off, okay? I won't back off either. I will only give it my best against Hanyu. Very well, Furude Hanyu, you're on. You're allowed to take the entrance exam. Okay then. We have to play a game that Hanyu knows how to play. What would be good? Oh. What about this? Mion throws a deck of cards onto the desk. Does this mean we'll play a game that everyone knows? How about Old Maid? That's fine. Here she goes. This is exactly what I had to go through when I went to the entrance exam. This is the Ganpai card game. It's a very enthusiastic response, but our club's Old Maid is a little different. Most of the cards have scratches on the back, so by memorizing the scratches you can tell what card it is. In other words, the more you've played this game, the better you are at it. This is simply a game to be mean to newcomers. Hanyu-chan, you could do it. This is a trial. Yeah, you can do it, yeah. This brings back memories. I had to go through this too. But Hanyu's like watched this a million times, so she'll be able to do it instantly. Everybody's gonna be like, what? That's gonna be how this goes. However, that doesn't mean I'll go easy. Just like how the Merciless said when I did it, I'll put everything into this. Right, everyone? Yes, welcome, Hanyu-san. Or watch out, here we go. If you want to join, let's see what you've got. Yes. Okay, there we go. We'll call your hand from the right. It's too late to hide now. I'm sorry, Hanyu-chan, this is the Ace of Spades, right? I'm done. You get it, Hanyu? This is the entrance exam for our club. Me. Keiichi put his grudge from his entrance exam into this game. Come on, Kei-chan, are you sure you should be saying things like that? Hanyu, take Kei-chan's card on the right. That's what you need to win. Oh, I'm done. Wow, that's not fair. Okay, I'm dead serious now. How dare you make me mad? Do you want to go home leashed wearing shorts with a tail on them on your first day? You would look better in them, Keiichi-san. I'm going to take him home with me. I'll make him do that punishment. That's a great idea. I'm in too. Why are you guys picking on me? Fine. I'm going to make you all do the punishment. Jesus Christ. They just decided to throw every sound effect here. We can keep going. This is the halfway, I imagine. Okay, this is the banquet section. Can you hear me? One more speech and we'll move on to a toast. Are you ready? This is the back end. We're ready. Can't hear anything from the inside, so please give us a cue when the speech is finishing up. 10 bottles per table, okay? Make sure you serve the table smoothly. Young waiters with bow ties get bottles of beer and ready for a toast. There are several dozen tables with white tablecloths in the banquet room. Approximately 8 people are sitting at each table, so there are at least a few hundred people there. The banquet room is filled with excitement. There are many plates with different kinds of food on each table. A sushi platter, a sashimi platter, a fruits platter. Also, along the wall there are cooks ready to serve fresh sashimi. All of the guests appear to be well-mannered gentlemen, and obviously they are notable people from different fields. The beautiful chandelier above them clearly tells that the hotel holds a status good enough for those famous people. An elderly gentleman is giving a long speech on the stage before making a toast. Usually people don't like such long speeches, especially if it's before a toast, but the guests are actually excited with his speech. Maybe the word excited isn't suitable. Maybe it should be described as an upsurge in a strange way. Anyway, Japan accepted the demand for the unconditional surrender, and the day they did, the Pacific War ended. In other words, if they had to take care of business, the war ended that day according to the international law, and from that day there was peace. Therefore, if any troops invaded Japanese land during that peace, there would be an encroachment against Japan. No matter what the Soviet Union says, the North Territories are Japanese land, and it's obvious that the Soviet Union invaded illegally. That's right. Now they want us to settle by returning 2 islands to us? Who do they think they're kidding? Listen, Hobo Mai, Shikotan, Kunashiri, and oh my god, Etorofu are all Japanese islands. If we put them together, it'll be bigger than one prefecture. What do you think if a Soviet troop invaded one of our prefectures? Would you settle by just getting half of the prefecture back? No, you wouldn't, right? We should be able to get the whole prefecture back. However, the Soviet Union claims that they've vested right to the lands. They've got to be kidding. We must resist them all with possible means, or all possible means. We want the Northern Territories back. We must unite and obtain an unshakable willpower as a country. Applause filled the banquet room. All the gentlemen agree and express that they feel the same way by cheering him on. In this excitement, there are 2 people standing by the wall who don't seem to fit in this environment. They are wearing sharp-looking suits, and they are a little too old to be called young men. However, compared to all the elderly gentlemen in the banquet room, they are rather young. Why do politicians care so much about believing in nationalism? It's simple. Politicians want votes. They are elected by getting enough votes. However, not everyone over the age of 20 votes. The majority of the votes come from the people who are already retired and living rather leisurely, and those are the ones interested in politics. I mean, for real though. No, so the key of getting enough votes is whether to get attention of the older generation. The war only happened 40 years ago. In other words, the generation that's interested in voting is the pre-war generation. My mother talks about air raids often. She used to live near... What the fuck? She used to live near... Sweetobashi? Sweetobashi. She lost all of her family due to in an air raid. She had to walk across the burnt fields all alone. That's right. Our parents went through the war. It's hard to believe. They had to believe in the death for the country. Death for the country. Although Japan lost the war, things changed because of the war, and that's why we have peace today. Yeah, I hear that a lot. If Japan hadn't fought in a war, Asia would still be a colony of the white people. There was no way we could have won, but we needed to fight in that war or something like that. In that case, no matter how much they preach pacifism, politicians can't ignore the pre-war generation. War is bad, and we should never again fight a war. But that war was necessary. Unless they say that, it's like they are denying the lives of that generation. See, politicians have to work hard to earn votes, huh? However, it would be one thing if they were truly proclaiming about their own beliefs, but they're simply saying that to get votes. Unless we get rid of those contemptible politicians, our post-war days won't end. So the ghosts of the war will be handed down to the next generation, and things won't ever change. They'll keep repeating the war in the early 12th century, they'll keep reading that the war in the early 20th century was justified yet regrettable every time an election takes place. It's simple. All young people just need to vote. Don't get fooled by the war stories and elect ones who are actually concerned about political issues. They have to be realistic political issues, though. Yeah, there are a few who talk about unrealistic measures, huh? Akasuka-san, isn't that the F table? There she is. Let's go. The speeches ended and the elderly gentlemen are giving the man on stage a standing ovation. The two guys walk through the crowd and get close to an old lady in a kimono. Yes? That would be me, but who are you? I made an appointment with you on the phone yesterday. I'm Akasuka. Ikasuka. Ikasuka. Sniffle, sniffle. Sniffle, sniffle. My husband worked so hard for this country. But, madam, I understand what you're going through. This is nothing unusual. Nobody remembers if there was a donation or not. So a handful of politicians were questioned. As a result, some came up with a scheme to blame a sickly elderly man who had already retired. He only has a short time to live anyway. It's perfect for them. The elderly man is already sick in bed, and the shock of his buddies betraying him has taken away his will to live. The only thing his wife can do is simply watch him suffer. The lady keeps crying while telling the guys about her husband's achievements. Your husband is in fact innocent, and the judge will rule accordingly. Don't worry. All false accusations will be cleared. I already know that, because he is innocent. But he won't live to see the verdict. He worked so hard for this country, and this is what he gets in return at the end? How could he rest in peace? Akasuka nods and tries to find the right words to say to her. His colleague rummages through a pile of paperwork behind him. The papers are filled with fine print, and it's hard to tell what they are. However, the way she's holding them, or he's looking at them, clearly tells it's something extremely important. Akasuka-san, this is amazing. This record shows exactly how the money moved. Akasuka gives him a sign to tell him that this isn't a place to rummage through it. Madam, there isn't any more paperwork, right? No. That was the only thing in his safe. Please use it and prove my husband's innocence. My husband took such good care of them, yet they betrayed him. Ooh. Madam, you do understand that some things in these documents work against him, don't you? Yes, I understand that. One can't be honest all the time when one is a politician. I am a wife of a politician. Thank you for your cooperation. I will use this to expose the injustice. Only one thing. May I ask you one thing, though? Could you wait until my husband passes away before making this public? The paperwork Akasuka received is something her husband should take to the grave with him. It's something that shouldn't exist in this world. If this goes public, her husband's name will be disgraced. Akasuka nods. I understand. I promise you. A huge amount of public funding comes from the Kasumi Gasikai? Kasumi Gasikai? Gaseki? It goes to substructures as well as national expenses, but there's always some who want to suck up the funds by mixing a hidden agenda into it. They want profits, protection, and more than enough dividends for the benefit of their own organization. Some sponsors approach politicians and government officials just to get what they want, and the government officials get spoiled by it. That's the structure of Japanese corruption. The illegal pipes go through Kasumi Gaseki. That word is going to kill me. And continue to spill public funds. To find and destroy such pipes is of national interest, but eliminating illegal expenditures isn't as simple as that, because there are people connected to those pipes, and when those people are investigated, a major political scandal takes place. The reason why the government doesn't instigate such illegal expenditures is not only to protect the vested interest, but also because they are conscious about political damage. To make a long story short, the government can't endure the pain of pushing out the pus from a wound. The closer a focus is to the core, the bigger the damage the government will take, and that affects the attitude of the cabinet. The closer the focus is to the core, the greater the damage is. The matter Kasuga is investigating secretly is very close to the core, and there is a possibility that the political powers will die in shock. Akasaka was tipped that there was a huge amount of public funding leaking out through an alumni organization of seven imperial universities, but he and his colleagues have been conducting a secret investigation for a long time. He learned that the enemy had tight bonds, that one of the elders had chosen to take all the blame, and his wife was extremely unhappy about it. He was finally able to get in touch with her. And now he has his hands on this extremely important information. Good work, everyone. We have almost gathered enough proof, especially what Akasaka-kun got is surprisingly shocking. You must have worked very hard to get it. Good job. Thank you. The small meeting room is filled with boxes with documents inside them. There's also a whiteboard filled with small writing. A few of the investigators in the smoke-filled meeting room are reading the documents intensely. This man's intimidating, the men's intimidating manner clearly tells that these are veteran policemen with lots of experience. Kasuga is one of these men. It has been a while since Akasaka Mamoru was transferred to this department. When he worked on the kidnapping of Minister and New Guy's grandson, he was a rookie, but now he's an experienced investigator. After a knock on the door, an elderly man comes in. Everyone straightens up all at once. Sir, thank you for stopping by. Please, you don't need to stand up. Relax. I brought a wonderful gift for you today. Kano, I'll let you go to your grandson's... let you go to your son's school open house. The meeting room is filled with sighs and expressions of surprise. The reason can't be that they don't want to go to the school's open house. Knew it. I thought it was about time. Shit. Akasaka's colleague complains. They were so close to getting to the core of this issue. They had strong evidence. Akasaka isn't too disturbed. Things like this have happened before, and it was actually expected due to dangerous content. The investigation will be switched to a different department all of a sudden. In other words, the investigation is over. The new department is supposed to expose the injustice, but that has never happened before. Being transferred to a different department is just an excuse. The investigation was terminated because there was pressure from above. Damn it. What about everything we've done so far? It was just to see how painful it would be to push out the pus. They realized it would be too painful, so they decided not to treat the wound. In that sense, their work wasn't wasted. Thanks to their work, the investigation was terminated. Akasaka understands that, but his colleague isn't mature enough to understand. Of course, Akasaka's sense of righteousness is unsatisfied by this. He feels frustrated with his bosses who hesitate to expose the injustice. But he's mature enough to know not to say that out loud. We'll arrange the organization of the documents and hand them over to the other end later. Anyway, since you haven't had a day off for a long time, you don't have to wait until 5 p.m. to leave. Please, go home and get some rest. We'll talk about the remaining business tomorrow. Also, don't forget to use up your vacation time too. Make sure you take your vacation time and treat your spouses. Chief, please come with me. That will be all. Yes, sir. The long secret investigation ends in a strange way. Akaska is to wait until the next suspicious incident occurs, taking a vacation in the meantime. Well, I guess I'll have to do as he says. Everyone, go home and get some rest. If you go home early unexpectedly like this, you may find out that your wife is having an affair, you know. Fool. You don't seem to know anything. Akaska-san and his wife are madly in love. He calls her every night from a public phone in a different building. I envy you, Akaska. My wife is so mean. Akaska smiles bitterly as he gathers the documents in his hands. One of the pages falls to the floor. It's a page from a huge pile of illegal expenditure documents. It's about the illegal expenditure of the Alphabet Project, the research project team for the next generation in the Defense Agency. It's highly possible that this project was created for the purpose of tunneling illegal expenditures. When he sees that paper, the one thing catches Akaska's attention. He picks it up and looks at it and tries to remember. This is a list of people who received the public funds. It's also a list of the retirees who are still very much in love with money. There should be no connection between those people and Akaska. However, there's one thing that catches his attention. NegativeAE clinic. As soon as he says it, all kinds of memories fill him. That's right, the NegativeAE clinic. When he was working on the case of Minister Onugai's grandson's abduction, he was in a scuffle with the suspects and got injured. He was taken to the clinic. He believes the name of the clinic was the NegativeAE clinic. He tries to remember one thing after another. He remembers the first experience of being in shambles. He can still remember everything so vividly. Wait. His daughter was about to be born. He really didn't want to go to Hinamizawa. He met Oishi and taught him a lot of important things. He also met a girl in her village. Her name was Frederica. That's right, he remembers. How long has it been? How old is she now? As he remembers her lovely smile, he also remembers the ominous prediction she made. She predicted that if he didn't go back to Tokyo, something terrible would happen. At the time, he took it as nonsense, but he felt something odd about it, as if it was a divine omen. Then he remembered about Yuki, who was about to give birth. He became concerned that something terrible would happen to Yuki, and he couldn't just leave and go back to Tokyo. That's why he called her right away. He told her something would happen. He told her to be very careful until he returned to Tokyo. Yuki laughed and told him he was worrying too much, but that phone call indeed saved her from a calamity. He found out about that when he visited her after she returned to Tokyo. A few days after his phone call, a janitor was seriously injured when he stepped on a loose tile on the stairs on his way to the rooftop. He also heard that afterwards that Yuki had a habit of going up to the roof for a walk every day. Because of his phone call, she had stopped doing it. He hadn't called her. She would have been the one to step on the loose tile. In other words, Rika's prediction was correct. There's no proof, but he still believes that he was able to save Yuki only because of Rika's prediction. He thinks he should have called her and thanked her for saving Yuki, but the busy days that followed made him forget about it. Rika-chan. He wonders if she's still doing well, if she's still smiling. With a smile. Wait, what? With a smile, he remembers the sad prediction that she made on that late night under the moon. That's right. She said something. She predicted that someone would get killed on the night of the festival annually, and that on the 5th year she would be killed. That's right, she did say that. 5th year, that's this year. The festival is... That's right, it's in June. If he remembers correctly, it happens on the last Sunday of the month. He looks at the calendar. It's June of the 58th year of the Showa era. It's just weird that they... oh, it's June, the 58th year of the Showa era. It's just weird to me. Although there is some time, the death she predicted herself is coming up. The girl who predicted Yuki's accident also predicted that a mysterious incident would occur annually for the next 5 years. If they actually have been happening, then it'll happen again this year. He wonders if Oishi is still at the Okinomiya station. If the annual incident she predicted was actually taking place, he would know. In other words, he can confirm if Furude Rika is going to be killed or not with a phone call to Uishi. The girl, who predicted his own or her own death, mumbled that she didn't want to die. Mumble? No. It was clearly a plea for help. The girl, who was trapped in the strange traditions of the village, asked him, someone from the outside, for help. She paid his reward in advance in the form of predicting Yuki's accident. He has to go save her. He has to get to her. He feels a flood of emotions fill him. It feels like he finally remembered something he was never supposed to forget. That's right. He has to go to Hinamizawa. He has to help get to the girl who asked him for help. Hello, Okinomiya Station. Hello, this is Uishi. Is Mr. Uishi Kurado still there in your investigation department? He is. May I talk with him, please? Excuse me, may I ask who's calling? Could you tell him it's Akasaka from police headquarters? He was a very energetic person, but he was already old back then. Maybe he already transferred to somewhere else, or maybe already retired. But if he's still there, he'll be happy to hear from him. He sure has a very unique laugh. Uishi-san, there's a phone call for you. Someone from police headquarters in Tokyo? Tokyo? Who could that be? Hello, this is Uishi? What? Oh my gosh, hello. How have you been? Okay. They're just showing us that Akasaka's coming back. Everybody's in. Everybody's in. Here comes Hanyu coming in. Because they need everybody. Akasaka's coming. We just need Shion to set up and do everything. Now we're going to go ahead and save there. It looks like we're in the thick of it now. We're feeling it now. I don't really have anything to say about what transpired. Other than I appreciate freaking there's a fighting game for this game that we found. I might play it for I'll just play one episode for the channel probably if I do end up playing it. I gotta emulate it and I gotta figure out if I can emulate it. Or if I can buy it, that would be even better. Like if it's like if I can like get it somewhere and it's just like a downloadable thing, that would be amazing. But we'll see. We'll see. I don't know, it'd be cool. We're also gonna do the anime thing here soon. I don't know when that's happening. I'm thinking I'm gonna start it soon because we're at the end. We're in the end game now. So like I feel like if I start it now, by the time I finish watching the anime alongside this, we'll be like in the middle of the anime. So we'll start, and I'll kind of explain the rules when I upload that anime video when we watch. I don't know if I want my face on the screen or if I want just like a cool graphic that I make. I guess if you're still here, I don't know how many of you are still watching this series, but if you're still watching, first of all, say hello. How are you? We're in the end game now. I'm sorry that it's taken so long. But two, do you plan on watching the anime with me? And would you like to see just my face? Because I guess you can see my reactions at that point. But my face is really dumb to look at. So I don't know if I want to put it up on the screen for a whole 20 minutes or however long we watch the episodes for. And or do you just want it to be like a cool graphic with like a timestamp of where we are? I don't know. I have an image. I have two images of what it could look like in my head, and I don't know which one I want to do yet, and that's why I haven't started watching the anime yet. So we'll see. Well, I'll figure it out, and we'll see what happens. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys. I'm not good at ending these things at all, but I appreciate you guys being here. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. I'll see you guys in the next episode, whenever that may be, and peace out, you guys.
I don't understand what's going on here.